Hello, everybody. Welcome to Arsenal X, the Xbox podcast here on Boss Rush Games. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Derrigan. Alongside me, as always, is the wise Wisconsinite, Mr. Jesse Douglas.
How's it going, everyone?
Also joining us is Colonel Panic himself, Joe Wilson.
Hi.
Are you practicing for your ADS live streams? Is that how you talk?
I was gonna do a Dom impersonation, but I just did it, and I felt like I was giving you guys double duty, so there was just like half in it and then half out of it, and I scrambled. That's the best I got.
You didn't fully commit.
I didn't. just that's what I'm the kid that like goes to jump in the pool and changes his mind and falls into the pool. That's what happened.
Also joining us is the mayor of the Deepstone Crypt, the sandwich casual, the freshly shaven Mr. Josh Finney.
Welcome, my children.
Josh, I'm going to tell you, I'm really looking forward to our top 10 Earl of Sandwiches episode of the new show.
I am too, because I feel like this warrants some research.
Yeah.
Can I charge a trip to the nearest Earl, which is legitimately probably in Disney World, as a business expense?
Someday I hope to do that. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. A company retreat we will take
To eat sandwiches.
yeah. And
Dole Whip.
and watch Muppet Vision 3D, because that's where we're at.
Watch Muppet Vision 3D. My drunk ass is going to be sitting in there watching a movie from the 1980s.
I love it.
Can we?
Who doesn't love Muppet Vision?
No, can we? Here's what we're gonna do. All right, we're gonna a company expense. We're gonna go to Disney. We're gonna go to Earl. Right. Then we're gonna go get our spiked blue milk, and then we're gonna go watch Muppet Vision with our Earl sandwich and our blue milk. That's the trip.
Dude, listen, it's a great show, and then when Sweetums actually walks out in a suit, it just goes from like, this is great to this is amazing.
I know. It's awesome.
Bunny. It is so immersive in that moment.
It is.
I remember that so clearly as a kid and just being like, "Oh my god, they're here."
I remember the first time I saw it and they messed up where he came out before he left the screen, and I was like, I was like 7 or 8, and I was like, what happened? What's happening?
Is it still exactly the same?
Yeah, it is. It's totally the same.
Never changed.
It's the only thing that
You're talking
changed.
about the one where you're in like a studio, right? Like
they
theater.
still fire the fucking cannon off.
Yeah, the only
back.
thing that changed. The only thing that changed is you don't walk out into the gift shop where like Jessica Rabbit standing there against a fire truck. Like that's like the only thing that changed since I was little. Yeah. Yeah.
It's ruined.
It was a cutout, Josh. Don't get too excited.
I remember being so like, I think Jessica Rabbit was around the age when I realized that like you get attracted to stuff, and I remember like that was like one of those things where I like wouldn't want to like be caught watching Roger Rabbit while my parents were in the room if Jessica Rabbit was on the screen, because of her gigantic bosom.
Her bosom.
It was so big.
Man, that's man.
Moving
Disney.
on from the cartoon boobies.
Yeah, we're
Why?
gonna before we.
This is not Hentai X, the Hentai podcast.
Oh,
Is there Jessica
I'm in the
Rabbit
wrong
hentai?
building.
Is that what you're trying to tell me, Josh?
Maybe, I don't know.
Somebody do that research real quick. Turn your webcam off.
Turn on incognito mode before you do that.
Incognito mode should have like a little extension that like turns off all the cameras in your house and turns down all the lights, locks all the doors. As soon as you hit incognito, it should be like locked down.
Are you telling us that like there should be mood lighting because you've got dirty searches?
Yeah.
What?
This explains Joe's investigative show. There's semen everywhere.
You switched the samples!
If there's ever a crime in my house, 100%, I'm first subject. There's semen everywhere. Everywhere.
What is it in The Office when they're in the hotel room with the black light, and Michael turns it on? He's like, "Oh God, what is that?" And Joy goes, "It's either blood, urine, or semen." And he's like, "God, I hope it's urine."
So, man, just to change gears real quick before we.
This is the Xbox show.
It is, but
Now the Xbox show.
BMX Triple X. Remember that game?
Yeah.
I remember when it almost didn't release.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's only one thing. You have to like put in a code to get like the weird, stupid, almost 8-bit looking thing happen.
Well, now you do. They were going to release it like that in the real game.
It's called BMX XX. What do you want?
I'm saying.
I'm going to address something before we answer Greg Osterman III's question. So, first of all, next week there's not going to be an Arsenal X because of the Super Bowl. We're all watching it except for maybe Joe. Because,
Correct.
yes. Honestly, I probably won't watch it either. I'll probably just...
Joe, watch it for the movie trailers so we can talk about it.
I'll watch them. I will watch the movie trailers the moment they hit online.
Yep. But also, Arsenal X is probably going to change a little bit after this episode. Everybody kind of has personal projects they want to work on. I know, Jesse, we've talked about how Arsenal X is going to continue at some point. So we're going to take a week or two off of this show and just really kind of nail down what it's going to be after tonight's episode. I do want to address that I really appreciate everybody listening the last 6 months or so, especially when we decided to bring it back. I appreciate Joe and Josh specifically kind of hanging out with us every Sunday night to talk about Xbox and games and that kind of thing. We're all kind of looking at new projects to start. My kid is coming, which is some of the reason why I'm not going to be hosting the show for the foreseeable future. And that thing's coming fast. We cleaned the entire apartment. We got one of them deep cleaning carpet cleaners, and man, that water is gross.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. But that's kind of what's happening. We had a lot of people write in over the last 6 months, probably 8 or 10 months at this point. Just want to say thank you guys. I hope you guys continue to support the show. I hope you guys continue to make the show what it is. And we're going to get into Greg's question here because it does kind of address the show moving forward. He says, "Hello, Arson." I did tell him, sorry, guy, food questions need to be directed other places now because, we'll all still be around in some form somewhere. But
well, yeah, and I do plan on continuing the show here. Once, I'm gonna take over the show for a while, and if people there's we have some people that might join and things like that. So I don't see it being gone for very long. So
yeah, I know LaRon expressed that he would sit in on a few episodes. I know Ed kind of wants to help. I know, various people from Boss Rush said that they would sit in and help out and guest and help host and stuff. And I know you said your friend Pat might sit in and try. You guys might try something, and you got that laptop now, so maybe. Yeah. Doing the show live is still an option and everything. So just want to give everybody a heads up that's happening. But sorry, Jesse, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, it'll exist in some form, but yeah, it will change quite a bit. So
yeah, but I'm really happy with the success the show has had over the last few months, and it's been wild to see it grow, especially since this kind of team has been together. And especially Jesse, I know we're gonna figure this out, but especially Joe and Josh, I appreciate you guys sitting in on the show and being here. You guys definitely gave the show the personality it needed, and thank you.
I've greatly enjoyed it.
Same.
Corey, you were trying to get me for a long time to come on, really, since you started Boss Rush in a lot of ways. And that unfortunately coincided with a gigantic move in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And then ironically, me finally agreeing to do it full time coincided with the second.
Mm-hmm.
But I've enjoyed doing a lot of stuff with Boss Rush over the last year, and the Tower Casuals are still going to live on. We're doing that. That's
Mm-hmm.
gonna still be on the same feed, but we'll be underneath a different banner going forward. Like you said, some of us will still be around in some capacity, but yeah, this is kind of coming to the end of these Sundays aren't really viable anymore, and pursuing other projects.
Yeah.
But I've loved being a part of it. Being a part of everything that we've done here.
Yeah.
It's crazy when I joined. It was really just you, Jesse, and Ed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's been crazy to see like the last 8 months or so just absolutely blow up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been. Yeah, it's hard to believe still sometimes. Like.
Yeah, I look at those numbers and I'm like, man, why? But it happens.
I would say that there will now be more content from all of us. It's just a little dispersed.
Yeah.
NBD.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. We're still here. This is what happens when you get 2 Christmases now, kids.
Actually, it's like 4 Christmases now.
4 Christmases.
Your 4 dads.
Meet your new mom. Her name's Sandy. She's a hairstylist. She's really good. You get free haircuts.
She smells like tanning bed oil and cigarettes. Oh. It's fine.
Like coconut and cigarettes.
Jesus Christ. That escalated quickly.
Oh, man. This is like way too close to home for me right now.
Oh, no!
Oh, no. Oh, no.
What was her name? What was
Joe,
her name?
You have a new mom named Sandy who smells like cigarettes?
My first new mom was named...
Right.
Fuck, I can't remember.
Right.
But she did cut hair and she did smell like tanning oil and cigarettes.
He said my first new mom, and I just spit Monster everywhere.
I have had a few new moms. My dad is a promiscuous individual.
Mine is too. He just never married him.
Oh, my dad makes the mistake and thinks it's love every time.
Yeah, I never had a new mom, so. As my grandma called them, they were just those fucking bimbos.
Yeah. For the record, I have no new moms. My mom is still my mom. She's a great lady. She would be crying right now if she thought she was replaced in any capacity. But Mom, I know you're listening. This is your favorite show. I'm sorry. You're also getting news that we're separating a little bit.
Anyways.
With Sandy and Greg.
Sandy and Greg.
Jesus. Okay, now that I'm done like crying and cleaning up sticky Monster everywhere.
And everywhere.
And it's everywhere. Greg Osterman III writes in, he says, "Hello, Arsenal X crew. I know the show is changing hands and will be different moving forward, but I'm looking forward to the new version. Jesse, I hope you give it a unique feel. Joss and Joe, your streams I will support. And Corey, your new content. I know you will all be fantastic. So, for the last Arsenal X food question for now, what is the best dessert? What do you eat it with? Where do you get it?" Mm-hmm. Sounds like an appropriate food question. You get dessert at the end, and you wait for your next meal.
The only thing more appropriate would be asking what I have for a nightcap.
Oh, God.
So, yeah.
What did you get for a nightcap?
Oh, God, dude, it depends on the kind of day I've had. It depends on, my attitude, my mood. Like, a nice smooth cognac. Like, get that. My ideal nightcap when I'm filthy rich and I have funded the first 20 standard definition company retreats to the Earl of Sandwich, and I've bought Corey and I lifetime passes, is I'm buying a bottle of Remy Martin's Louis XIII which comes in a gigantic crystal ball. Now, for everybody listening at home, I'm going to need you to pull out your Googles, and I'm going to need you to look this up. Louis the 13th. I need you to look at that pompous-ass bottle it comes in. It's a nice crystal bottle. When I served this at the arena that I worked at in college, they specifically had people come in from the company to train us how to handle and open and pour the bottle. Because if you do it the wrong way, the crystal cork is going to crack, and you can't use the bottle at all because shards of glass will literally get into the liquor. And this bottle is worth like $3,500 retail.
Oh.
One shot of this, 1 3-ounce shot, is $250. I got to try this twice, and let me tell you, that is the greatest goddamn thing that's ever passed my lips. Because that sucker is older than any of our grandmas, probably older than our grandmas and our moms combined, because it's aged for 125 years.
That's a long time.
That shit existed before World War One. Like, 5, that existed before Teddy Roosevelt was president. Let that set in for a minute. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. That is my ideal nightcap in a world where I'm filthy rich and have no concerns at all for money. When I hit GameStop on the New York Stock Exchange.
Man.
I don't have an answer for the dessert, though. This is hard.
Man. You know what? You know what? I was watching the Disney food blog today because
God damn it, Corey.
No, I watch it every Saturday, okay? And they didn't put a video up yesterday. They put it up today. Granted, I went to the food blog and found out why. It's very sad, but video was late. They ruined my Saturday tradition. Okay? I wake up, I make breakfast, my wife leaves the house, and I watch Disney food blog for an hour. Anyways.
This is like a sex thing?
Okay. Yeah. The Disney princesses bring you hot fudge and ice cream to your bedroom.
with a cameo by Jessica Rabbit, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I get it now.
You get it.
Monkey's paw curls. Miss Piggy comes with her.
Oh, God. No. Anyways, Josh. I saw those big like cookie ice cream sandwiches that they have at Hollywood Studios with the chocolate chip cookies or like the M&M cookies on top. I need one. I got to tell you, man. Not really a dessert to eat after dinner, but damn, that or like a churro or something. I don't really do dessert. I do like snacks. You know what I mean? Like that feels like a snack.
Yeah.
Even though it still feels like a dessert, I guess. But
Corey, I thought of you. We went to Target on.
You thought of me? How so?
Yeah, I did on Saturday, and we went through the freezer section, and it was in one of those jovial moods where it's just like, kids, just you point at shit, and I'm gonna put it in the cart for you. By the way, doing that leads to a $300 Target bill. Don't do that. But we got the Mickey ice cream bars, and we got the Millennium Falcon cookie sandwiches.
Yeah.
I haven't had a Mickey bar yet, and it's been a long time since I've had any of those things. But I had the Millennium Falcon. That's like between like a shortbread or Nilla wafer type material. I don't know what it is. It's pretty good. That's not my answer, by the way. But anyway, in the moment that I bought these, I was gonna buy one. And I was like, you know what? I'll just buy the Disney little selection here. And I thought of you. That's the end of that little comment. But I feel like I don't know what I would pick because it depends on where I'm at. Like, if there's if Millie's ice cream is around, I'll go in and get some. Like, it's so contextual. But I guess if I was picking anything, meaning like, I would this is something that's more rare for me to obtain, I guess, is either fresh beignets or like an Amish donut. Like, and the reason why is because those are so, there aren't places that I can go and just get those. Like, that's something that's like a very special occasion, and they have to be fresh. So I would pick one of those like donut, like a fresh donut type material. But beignets, when you get good beignets, ooh, it's real good.
Dude, that reminds me, French Quarter has some great beignets.
That's at Disney.
Yeah, French Quarter is one of the hotels.
And I haven't been there since I was a kid. You really?
I gotta tell you, dude, the beignets. Stuff. Dude, I gotta tell you, man, I had a really good idea that like once I became too old to podcast about games, that I was just gonna start a Disney Channel. Because like you can never be too old for Disney, right?
Could you
that
call it?
You hear is Disney's lawyers at your front door right now.
Could you call it a Disney Channel and not the Disney Channel?
No, I have a name for it. I will tell you later because I don't want somebody to steal it, even though there's a Twitter account that's already taken with that name that they haven't tweeted since 2016.
That's all right. Yeah, you can file a thing for that. I feel like if you establish yourself, you can take that over.
How do I do that? Because I've been trying to get Corey and HD on Twitter for so long.
I think what you will have to do is you will have to find a way to be that entity outside of Twitter for a little bit.
I've been that outside of Twitter for 3 years.
Well, I mean, like,
no, I know what you mean.
You have to be like somewhat known. Like, that sounded worse than it. It sounded
Thanks,
real
Joe.
bad. You know what I mean?
I'm glad you're leaving.
If I walk down my road and be like, "Hey, you know Corey," and they're gonna be like, "Who?"
Who? Huh?
But if I go and be like, "Hey, you know George Clooney," and they're like, "Yeah, dumbass, get out of my way."
I thought about just changing
If George Clooney needed a Twitter account, guarantee he'd get it.
Thought about just changing my Twitter to my real name, and then I was like, nah. People aren't going to know how to spell it. They barely know how to spell my first name because there's an E in there.
Oh, I put a 3 for my E.
That's true.
So
check those show notes.
Horrible Twitter names.
Can you just make a Twitter handle that's called Check the Show Notes?
Oh man, should somebody get on that?
Let's call one of our people.
Call the people. I'll call the lawyers of the new project, and they can get on it.
All right.
I don't have an answer for this, Greg.
I really don't either. I don't really like real dessert. I just like weird stuff, like candy.
If I eat dessert, it's a special occasion. I feel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, unless you're gonna like give me a pint of Ben and Jerry's, like it's gonna be a special occasion.
What Ben and Jerry's?
What's your half baked, man?
I like the Tonight though.
Cookie dough and brownie batter in there. Oh god, dude, it's so good.
I like the my favorite because it's really hard to find. They don't really make it, I don't think, a whole lot anymore, but I love their red velvet. The red velvet, I forget what it's called. I think it's just called red velvet, but it's just got big chunks of red velvet cake in it, and it's so good. I just love red velvet. I don't know why I don't like chocolate cake, but I love red velvet. It's the same thing. It's just one's got vinegar in it and it looks red, and the other one is just regular.
You know what I do like as a dessert on a special occasion? One of those big ass cookie cakes.
Oh yeah.
From Great American Cookie. Dude, listen. If you get me a motherfucking cookie pizza, I'll do just about it for you, okay? Like I'm a cookie slut.
Yeah, like, nothing's just better than a really,
it.
really soft chocolate chip cookie.
It's soft, it's moist, it's literally falling apart. I'm picking if I have to eat the cookie like it's a piece of fucking pizza, you've done well.
You fold it. You have to fold it.
I'm really into
just a little bit of icing.
I'm really into I'm really into cookie cakes, guys. Cookie cakes. Yeah. The icing. It's what I need.
Yeah, Laurent, go buy ice cream. We're telling you to do it right now.
Yeah, go do it.
What about you guys? What are your stances on cheesecake?
Depends. I like I like a good Oreo cheesecake.
Yeah, Oreo cheesecake with the Oreo crust.
Mm-hmm. That's the one. I like also a white chocolate raspberry cheesecake.
My dad makes homemade chocolate cheesecake.
Yeah,
and it's genuinely better than any cheesecake I've had at a restaurant. So Like Chelsea loves going to the Cheesecake Factory, but she doesn't actually like getting cheesecake there. Like she is the one person on earth who goes there for the food.
That's not nobody goes there for the
fucking
food.
encyclopedia of the history of food.
Yeah, you think that's funny but I used to.
She reads through the King James edition of the Cheesecake Factory.
You think that's funny, but I used to manage a restaurant, and our menu was the second largest menu in all of Ohio, next to Cheesecake Factory.
Oh my god,
that's a nightmare.
Yeah, it was awful.
Every time we go to the Cheesecake Factory, I get cheesecake. I make her order a piece, and I order a piece, so that way I don't look that fat ordering 2 pieces.
So you eat it, you save it and take it home and eat it the next day.
No, I eat both of them there while she's eating her food because she eats real food there. But because I'm not having real food and I'm having drinks, I'm getting trashed, so she has to drive me home.
Ooh.
It is very similar to Joe's scenario from last episode. Except she fully knows what I'm going to do and has agreed in advance to drive me home while telling me, it's okay, you're not that fat. We're going to work out some more.
Cheesecake Factory does have good cheese sticks, though.
I know. She gets them.
They're good.
If there are mozzarella sticks on the menu, she will find them.
Same.
Even in the King James menu.
I enjoy a good cheese stick, let me tell you.
And damn you if you have like cheese sticks and like cheese curds or cheese bites and make me choose. Fuck off.
That's why you got to get the app sampler, where you get a little bit of.
No, you don't get the app sampler. You just get the full apps and then you just eat it.
The app sampler is for quitters.
Yeah. They always there's in the app sampler. There's always one thing in there that it's like a compromise or something I'm not fully into.
It's usually fucking onion rings.
Onion rings or jalapeno poppers.
Yeah, it's like, if this is shit that I wouldn't even eat at a party, then I don't want it.
Yeah.
That's why you go to Perkins late at night.
The fuck is a Perkins?
You go to Perkins.
It's
a diner-ish thing.
It's a diner-like
place. It's an upscale Denny's.
They've got a bakery.
Denny's.
They've got an actual bakery, and which is where where my favorite dessert comes from. Their peanut butter cup silk pie is like one of my all-time favorite. It's peanut butter like mousse with like a nice thick chocolate mousse at the bottom of it, with a bunch of like whipped cream and frosting on the top of it, with chocolate drizzled over the top of that, and then a peanut butter cup, the mini peanut butter cup put on nicely snug on top of it, and it is like, it's so good. It's by far my favorite. But the thing with Perkins though is they, like, if you go there late at night, they have half price apps. The half price appetizers and stuff like that, so you can like get a whole bunch of them for really super cheap.
Man, now all I want is like cheese sticks and cheesecake. Well, guys, so we're not going to do housekeeping. We're not going to talk about what we've been playing, because let's face it, we've all been kind of playing the same things. And we never get anywhere with that conversation. So we have a couple of news stories to talk about, and then we have a couple questions to finish out the night. So, Joe, I picked this one specifically for you, although I do enjoy a good talk about Halo anyway. But that's not the right link. Oh boy, there it is.
Well, just really quick though, did
Corey
you guys...
was on his wrong Google profile.
Yeah.
His house just went into lockdown.
Did you guys play the Medium then at all?
No.
Nope.
No? None of you did? Oh,
no.
Okay.
I'm playing it on stream this week.
Oh, okay. I'm enjoying it so far. But
all right, so Halo Infinite's sandbox content is 90% complete, reveals developer. They also kind of revealed that we're going to get monthly updates about Halo until its release. some of these, like the screenshots of the weapons look really good. Some of the screenshots of some of the arm, like the arm, there's a screenshot of like the armor and like the grappling hook that comes out of the it's like the Assassin's Creed Hidden Blade, but it's a grappling hook. It looks really good. Joe, what are your thoughts on this? Since you are the Halo guy.
I would wager that. So my impression was that this is exciting. First off, it's just like if you were actually spending potentially the next 6 to 8 months, like doing just like bug fixes and polishing.
Shit, probably like 10 or 11, honestly. Yeah.
I think like first off, that's refreshing because again, this game cannot ship and then afford to like be like we're gonna fix this stuff and then rush to fix stuff.
They can't have a Cyberpunk.
They can't. This. I mean, I don't think they're gonna have a Cyberpunk, but they can't even do like what Destiny does or most games. I think of a game that when you download it, that it doesn't then have like a day one patch. It's like 4 gigabytes anymore. I mean, they can still have a day one patch, but like they can't afford to have it be bad. But the other thing that is exciting, like I think it's gonna be like all the things that all the screenshots that they're releasing seem like they're really nailing. Like they all have lighting effects on them, so it tells me that ray tracing is back in there. At least I'm hoping. And I feel like their confidence back up now, where it's like, oh, we can start pushing out content because we know, kind of like the path is already like predetermined. But I would wager that there was a conversation with Phil Spencer or whoever. It might not have been Phil, but he's just the name that I can pull out of the air. Where they're like, hey, we're going to need more time. And like, how much time do you need? And we're like, we can probably have it done by spring. And he's like, well, how much time do you act? Like, I bet there was like, how much time do you really need to get this to 100%? I bet that the time frame was extended to be like, just take this time and then make it good. Because other than that, I bet this game would have been pushed until like was a month or two from now and would have been shipped.
Well, I mean, Joe, you and I were saying for a long time until we got the confirmation last fall, or like literally a month and a half ago, I think, that we thought this was a March or April game.
Yep.
And because I mean, the timeline with what they said they needed to fix and whatnot, the fact that they're pushing this though, like, tells me two things. One, Microsoft is finally taking it seriously that their games need to be polished, because that's my biggest complaint about the Xbox One generation is that their exclusives were good, but they weren't polished. They could have easily used an extra like 6 to 8 weeks of patching, of fixing, and they would have come out in a much better state and gotten better reviews. Better word of mouth. Excuse me, I'm burping. Better word of mouth. You can't do that with Halo. Halo cannot have a Halo 5 launch. It cannot have a Cyberpunk launch. It has to be near flawless on day one with no patches, similar to how a lot of Sony titles launch. It needs to have a God of War or a Last of Us style launch. And them doing this tells me that they're taking this seriously, that Phil, Matt Booty, whoever is over there is taking it seriously. And let's be frank, they want something for the 20th anniversary in November. So why not just hold your game until then? Like, it's a cocky move, sure, because, I mean, what else? We've talked about this ad nauseum. What else do they really have between now and E3? The answer is Psychonauts, and that's coming to everything. You got a bunch of indies and a bunch of third parties. There's not a reason to go buy your box yet. They're banking on this right now. I think they also looked at probably their production numbers of consoles and went, hey, we're not going to be able to fulfill demand on these until at least summer, like consistently in stores. Why not just push the game back? And that way we're still honoring, hey, everything came to Xbox One for the first year. Surprise, this is the beginning of year 2, like a day later, exclusives. I don't know. But the fact that they say in this article that it's running efficiently across all platforms, including Xbox One, and part of that is they're using the Azure servers to do that. They're using the cloud computing, puts me at ease with one of my biggest concerns. My other thing I noticed is they've replaced the shotgun. The classic shotgun is no more.
Yeah.
We now have that new gun. And they're basically banking on, well, saying, oh, well, you know, according to numbers, nobody was really using the shotgun. I call malarkey on that.
Who wasn't using the shotgun?
Ran for the shotgun.
Yeah, who the fuck isn't using the shotgun? Maybe it's just the people I play with.
No one uses the sword.
Yeah.
I mean, the shotgun was the first thing I went for every time because you know who sucks at PvP? This guy. You know what helps in PvP? The shotgun. So that was me.
Well, and you know what helps against the sword? The shotgun.
It's true.
I'm a pistol guy.
That sword, though.
Yeah, I mean, I never usually end up going for stuff unless I'm like there at the right time. But I mean, just because I know everyone's running for it, you know, it's like the rocket launcher, all those good things. Like everyone's always running for them. I don't even bother because I'm not that good to even to defend myself to try to take it from someone anyway.
In Halo, to be successful, you need to know the timer of which things are grabbed and then when to be there to go pick them up. You need to be getting that overshield. You need to be getting invis. You need to getting rocket launcher sniper. If you're a bad sniper, you still need to run to get sniper so a good sniper can't have it. Throw it off the map. That is the strategy. You just need to control those power weapons. But yeah, if the shotgun's on the map, someone's sitting in a corner.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're gonna kill me. Scatter shot. I have literally a video montage of people killing me with the scatter shot, like ruining rampages that I'm having. I cannot. There's no counter to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, that was so fun that time. Me and you, Corey, we were playing was it Halo 5 where they had the thing where you just every time you respawned with random weapons. I forget.
Oh yeah, it was Halo 5. No, it was Halo 5. I forget what that mode's called, but yeah, we did that. We did a lot of that.
God, that's so much fun.
In other Halo news, I did get my signed
nice
Master Chief and Cortana picture today.
Nice. That's
I
awesome.
got it 2 days ago. Been waiting. So I went to the Halo Outpost thing and had the VIP pass. Never got to meet them or anything like that. It was filled up right away. But there was a GalaxyCon thing online. I think they're doing it again, and you can just basically have them do it all virtually.
Who signed it? Is that Steve Downs?
Steve Downs. Yep, and Jen Taylor.
Ooh, okay.
Nice.
That's cool.
Nice.
I like him.
I finally today I picked up the Warthog, that new one, because I had a little extra cash left because I sold a whole bunch of my retro games the other day and got made like $150 for it, and got this new mic and then I finally got the Warthog with Master Chief, that new one. So you guys can't see it now and it's dark in here, but it's behind me set up with everything.
Nice. I'm not gonna lie, guys. The more I'm seeing of Halo, and after they delayed it, and it seems like they're putting in the effort. I'm more excited than I was last year. I think for Halo, this is besides the new Destiny expansion, this is probably second or third most anticipated game for me this year.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think the difference between what they thought they only needed to come out and what like Josh was saying, I think it's very possible that, had they just came out a couple months later, that it would have been the situation that we dealt with Crackdown 3, where it just was, technically it was finished, but just nothing about it really
Talk about a game that was super disappointing. Don't get me wrong, Crackdown was fun for what it was. It wasn't great at all, but for it being in development for that long and that's the product that you put out was oh my god. And that harkens back to what Josh was saying earlier, was these games got to be finished, they got to be polished, they got to be done.
Yeah. Crackdown 3 really plays like an Xbox 360 game. There's very little, unless you really want to nitpick and be you couldn't do that large of an open world and have all those particle or lighting effects and that many enemies on the screen at one time, which I'm sure is true, but there is nothing about that game that really feels new.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, Scalebound died for that game.
It's true.
Yeah. It's long live
Scalebound.
Really, Yeah, it really was a bummer when Crackdown 3 came out because, like you said, Corey, yeah, it was fun for what it was, but there just wasn't anything about it that made it stand out from what, like there was nothing
the only thing cool was
game.
The only thing cool was the Terry Crews commercials. Like those were the only cool parts of whatever.
Because even the use of him in that game was very minimal. If they would have went over the top with like just making it a really fun and funny like game, and based a lot of stuff around like him, I think it could have been a little bit better. But yeah, like even him, there really wasn't much voice stuff in it. There wasn't much really of anything. It was just his character, his likeness, and that was about it.
Yeah. Well, Do you think we'll get a beta this summer for Halo?
Yes.
I would imagine after E3 they're probably gonna announce.
They've already confirmed that we're getting some sort of testing.
The word beta was used somewhere in there.
Beta was used. They guaranteed one before release last year.
Then
they said they're going to do insider flighting like they've done for Master Chief Collection.
Great.
News. If you want to test Halo Infinite this year, you need to sign up now. So, you need to go to the Halo Insider website to test the game, which I guess I should probably do right now.
Yeah.
All right. Next story.
Moving on.
Next story. Cyberpunk. Good news. Cyberpunk releases mod tools to the community. Bad news. It took 9 hours for someone to get banned for having sex with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
That's just funnier more than anything.
I know. Yeah. It's cool though. Yeah. I mean, what? I know it's probably a different team and everything, but wouldn't you want all hands on deck to like figure out what's wrong with the game and put it out the door before you start giving people tools to fix the game for you and like, I don't know, make the game that you said was coming out?
Yeah.
I'm really struggling with this.
I get nervous, so I stopped playing Cyberpunk, and I figured I would just wait for the Series X update, because I'm not going to play it again. Like, I think I'm going to play through it once and not again. It's just like, I'll wait. And then I was expecting some sort of date to come out on when they were going to do that, and now we haven't. And now, like, I feel like we're getting further along. The hype is dying down. I know that I'm going to get that update. I feel like it's not a priority for them anymore. And I'm kind of like bummed out about it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the game was fine when I was playing. I don't know. It really sucks that game did the things that it did, the way that it did it. And I agree. Like, it's like, oh, they're getting mod tools. Be like, that's cool. Can someone fix the Series X so I can play it the way that I was thinking I was going to play it now? I don't know. It's just a huge bummer around it. And then now, like, I'm losing momentum, and Halo's going to be coming out. If there's a beta, I've been like really plugging away. It's just going to fill up, and then I don't think I'm going to circle back around to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, like I've been since like I think it was announced in 2017, but man, lately I just cannot wait for Biomutant to come out. Like, there's so many games that I'm looking forward to that are potentially coming out this year that, like, I don't know even if the update does come out for Cyberpunk if I'm gonna care anymore at that point, because I'm in the same boat as you, like, where I've put it off. I played like the first 15 minutes of it, and that was about it. And I put it off because I'm waiting for, it to run better and to have the next gen upgrades. And, at this point, I just don't know. I don't know how I'm going to feel about that game when that time comes. So,
yeah.
It is a bummer because I mean, I think I can say that it was look like a game that we were all really looking forward to.
Yeah,
a lot. I was nervous at some point that Halo and that game were going to come out at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
What a
They
fool.
still might.
What an idiot I was.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like Josh said, they still might. That Series X update might come out the same time that Halo does.
I mean, I'm not worried at that point because, like,
Yeah.
I know the clear winner now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Oh, anyways, that's more hilarious. Speaking of hilarious, we're gonna skip the third news story and jump straight to the fourth. You can't take down the mighty Pooh on Series X, guys. Can't take down the mighty Pooh. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
Well, you're about to find out. Conker's Bad Fur Day in Rare Replay loads too fast on the Series X.
Oh my god!
When you get to the poop monster, it hard locks and you can't fight him. They have since patched it, but it's still hilarious. So, thought that was funny.
Yeah,
I like it.
Intentionally slow down.
Yeah.
the loading.
Nearly 20 years after its original release, Conker's Bad Fur Day's Great Mighty Pooh is causing issues on Xbox Series X. Users playing the classic Rare game via next-gen consoles are reporting running into problems during the iconic boss fight. Multiple players have reported that confronting the opera-singing pile of feces frequently causes the game to soft lock, preventing progression. I hate when I get soft locked. That prevents my poo progression. Ooh. So Rare is working on it. I'm pretty sure it's already patched, but it's hilarious that this is a problem in 2021. Especially for a Microsoft-owned game that should have probably been. I mean, not that like people are like clamoring to play Conker's Bad Fur Day on the Xbox Series X, but like,
I mean, some people were.
Apparently, couldn't get.
Some people just can't get the poo out.
It's true. It's what those fiber brownies are for that my wife eats. So,
Little Debbie's.
Cosmic brownies. Let me tell you, cosmic brownies. By the way, next time you see Logan, just make fun of him for putting brownies in his barbecue sauce.
What?
Yeah,
He swears it's good.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
I'm not brave enough to try.
Nope, pass.
Well, I don't want diabetes.
Diabetes. Oh man, I know that's not funny, but that commercial, funny. The last. What we're okay. The last news story here is there's a canceled GoldenEye 007 Xbox Live Arcade remake that leaked onto YouTube in its entirety from 2007. It's probably the same technology they use for the Perfect Dark remake. It's it's pretty cool. I watched some of it. It looks pretty good. I mean, it looks like the N64 game that got HD'd, but and runs at a smooth frame rate. And by smooth, I mean probably like 30 frames, not even. But
Cool.
Going back and trying to play GoldenEye on 64 and
pass
explosions, and it's like 2 frame rates per second.
I honestly do not mind the look of GoldenEye to play it.
Yeah.
The issue with me playing it now is simply the controller and the controls. Like it doesn't really control like a first-person shooter. You don't really aim necessarily. Like you just kind of like look in a direction.
Yeah, because it's
got the auto aim. It's got the auto aim on it.
Heavy auto aim.
Although you can plug in two N64 controllers and play dual stick. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, you can do that.
Interesting.
Yeah. Guess what? Doesn't work that well.
I'd imagine.
But of course it was 1996 when they tried dual sticking it. So
it sucks. I was following that remaster when like it was like there was rumblings of it, and I got really excited because I don't need the game to look really better. I mean, obviously I think it should.
Mm-hmm.
And clearly it's not that hard to just, I mean, like, I'm sure, like, if you just add some more polygons, because the 64 was definitely short on them, it would help. I wish it would just come out. It sucks when something's caught up in like a 4-way licensing deal. Like, you got Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft. I guess I don't know where the real hang up with that license is.
Well, now it's back with the Broccolis because it reverted back because nobody did anything with it for so long. Because
that's why IOI can make their game.
Yeah. So there was a thing 2 years ago, I guess, which is probably when IO was pitching their Bond game. That like it was like a big deal because everybody was like, "Oh man, the license reverted back, so they can re-release GoldenEye." And it's like, no, they can't because the
it's
game
a lot more complicated.
Yeah, the game is still owned by Rare, which is owned by Microsoft, but the publishing is owned by Nintendo, and it's just like this whole thing now. So
yeah,
the game needs to. It's the every time you're talking about first person shooters and like the origin of them or anything, it is a mile marker in that conversation. Like it is one of the.
Well, it established them on consoles.
It needs to be preserved. And I'm sorry, like just saying, like, well, you can always just plug in your N64.
No,
like,
you can't.
Can I just plug it in? Like,
Yeah.
that's not a reasonable answer to me.
What was the last TV or monitor you bought that had composite cable hookups in it? Seriously.
So, I know Joe was thinking about, like, I had an idea that I thought it would be funny to try to play this at some point. And, like, the only thing that I have right now that can run that is a projector that I have in my house. It's like somewhere collecting dust, and hopefully it boots up. So, like, get your shit together, man. Like, give us. Well, I'm willing to pay for it.
Yeah, yeah, man. I was like, I bought this little converter box that you plug in the HDMI, or you plug in the composite cables and it converts it into HDMI, but you also have to plug the converter in via USB. So, like, you have to have it, like, on your desk right in front of you to do it. And I'm like, man, this is so complicated and dumb. And, by the way, the consoles it doesn't work with are the NES and the Super Nintendo. And it's like, can't play those now, except that I hacked my Super Nintendo and my NES classics and have a billion games on them, so it doesn't matter there anymore. But if I wanted to play N64 games, I guess I could just do that, or get an emulator, or I don't know.
Yeah, all that
it's dumb
kind of stuff sucks.
Yeah.
There's a band that I love called Head Automatica, and they were on a record label, and the record label was just complete. They were just a-holes, and they got really pissed off, and so they went to a different label and started doing some stuff which broke their contract. And there's now a full entire album that they spent all the money to record and everything, and that label is held at hostage because they're mad. So like I'll never even hear it. No one will ever hear that album because they won't let it happen. And it sucks. And like that when companies just do, mess things up sometimes.
Yeah.
It gets too crazy.
All right. Well, we have questions, guys. Remember, you can email.
Do we?
We do. We have quite a few, Josh. And by a few, we have 3. Technically 4, but we answered one of them already. You can email the show at arsenalxpodcast@gmail.com. You can tweet at arsenalxpodcast with your questions. Eric Hathaway writes in. He says, "Hey, guys. What Xbox game deserves the RE2 Final Fantasy VII Remake treatment?" What game deserves that treatment? Azuric.
I hate you so much.
No, here's the game I really think deserves it, and I'm not being facetious at all, and I actually really like the game now. Lost Odyssey, I think, is a fantastic RPG that, with a few, quality of life improvements and some updated graphics and maybe a cooler battle system, that game would be awesome today.
Yeah. I'm going to go Jade Empire for this one.
You know what? I almost said Jade Empire, but I knew somebody here was going to say that, so I was like...
Insert any BioWare game that was on the OG Xbox. But we've already talked about wanting RE2 style remakes for KOTOR on this and other shows.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Jade Empire. I really have a soft spot for that game.
That game was cool. If you bought the collector's edition, you got the monk. Remember that because it had a different cover.
I don't remember that.
Oh.
My other answer is this one's going to be a little out of left field, but Oddworld Munch's Odyssey.
Oh.
And Stranger's Wrath. Give me a 1-2 punch of those games.
The Stranger's Wrath is excellent.
Stranger's Wrath is there's an HD version on PS4 and Switch, not Xbox though.
Yeah, Laura Lanning hates Xbox.
I know.
Those games though, like those are aside from Halo, like Halo and like it goes like Halo, BioWare games, and then it's like Oddworld is what I remember of the OG Xbox. And I love Munch's Odyssey. I remember playing that at a demo station before the Xbox released in like fucking Walmart and being like, what is this? This is so weird. Like up until then, I'd only ever played N64, Game Boy, and like PlayStation. A little bit of Dreamcast, I guess. But like this was so different from anything I'd ever played. It was so weird. And my grandma was like, yeah, you're not getting that. That looks stupid. No. Well, I'll have you know, Grandma, I've bought this game like 3 different times now. I really, really, really want this to get the RE2 treatment. But if we ask Laura Lanning to do that, because he is doing it, Oddworld Soulstorm is technically that for the second
Stranger's
Oddworld
Exodus.
game.
Yeah.
That one, like, dude, that's been in production for like 6 years. And he hasn't done an original Oddworld game since Stranger's Wrath. So I'm a little hesitant to ask for those. But I would play those in a heartbeat if they decided to even like just not really remaster them, because the HD remasters aren't really that good.
Yeah.
Like, give me those games like fully overworked.
I don't know. Stranger's Wrath HD is okay. It holds up.
Stranger's Wrath it holds up because it's a completely different game. It's a first-person shooter. Like, that game holds up way better than Munch's Odyssey, which was a launch title for the Xbox.
Remember when they said they were going to take down Mario with Munch's Odyssey?
I do remember that. I also remember Nintendo thought that Luigi's Mansion could do Mario numbers at launch, and then quickly found out that Smash Brothers and Star Wars Rogue Leader were the better games.
I mean, they're not wrong. I love Luigi's Mansion, don't get me wrong, but Smash and Rogue Leader and even Pikmin are better. Pikmin's awesome.
Wave Race Blue Storm.
Oh, God. 1080 Avalanche. The other game, Josh, speaking of Star Wars games.
Hit me.
Republic Commando.
Okay, so I have expressed my love for Republic Commando so many times on this and other shows. I felt like I couldn't go with the super obvious, but yeah, dude. If you redo Republic Commando with the RE2 style treatment, hell, I'll even accept the Modern Warfare remastered treatment for this game. I would cry.
And still plays really good.
Give my guys at the Coalition the license to do a Bad Batch game.
Ooh, yeah, let's do it.
Oh God, the Gears cover system in Star Wars.
You know what game we did forget to talk about? Fusion Frenzy.
Fuck you.
Only the demo version
plays fine, right? I've only played the demo version.
Only the demo version on Halo.
1 versus 100.
Yeah. For me, my game though, and I know this is, it is what it is, but like, like Microsoft doesn't really have any exclusive like sports type kind of games, right? And
I mean,
one of my
tell me NFL Fever isn't worth giving the remake treatment?
Lynx 2003 was a great title.
I know, but I'm thinking like, and this isn't even I mean, it's a hybrid, I guess. It's kind of a sport game, but it wasn't. Like, my favorite game before little Timmy was playing, jumping on and playing with those cars that have the little jet engines on the back, hitting the soccer ball around. I was playing Death Row on my original Xbox, and I loved the hell out of that game. And I would love to see that get redone and brought back. Like, it's basically, it was very similar to Rocket League, where you had a thing on each side, but it was, you played as team, like basically different factions of like prisoners, basically, that had their own little like groups, and they each had their own team names. And you had this disc that you had to throw through like, it's almost like basketball, where you'd have to throw it through a hoop to score a point. And but the great part about it is you could just haul off and just start beating the crap out of someone. So when they went to go pass to them, it would just go flying past them because they're laying on the ground bloody. And it was just the idea of that game was, you like, literally you would try to throw this frisbee, like, almost like Tron like ring through a loop. And then you could also, it was like a fighting game. You had like kicks and punches and stuff, and you could just like fight people and knock them out so they wouldn't be able to play for a moment. And it was just such a fun game, and it was just so different at the time. And I would love to see more stuff like that. Like, I want more, like, games that are kind of mixing genres and doing something unique. And I think that would be a great thing for Xbox to have as a exclusive thing, just something weird and fun like that you can play with like friends. It's like, seriously, Death Row was such a fun game.
What's your pick, Joe?
I'm not going to say Mass Effect, although I would love for them to completely revisit and fix Mass Effect. And I know that's not what the Legendary Edition is going to do, but hey, I know nothing about it other than the fact that it exists and I can pre-order it.
Well, the rumor is it's going to be a Game Informer's cover story for February.
Good for Game Informer.
Honestly,
it's a month before it comes out, right? It comes out.
Yeah,
March.
they started doing it a lot closer to release, especially during the pandemic. They've gotten games like a month or two before release. Probably because a bunch of those games never came out, like that Lord of the Rings White Council game.
I would want that for Mass Effect if it doesn't happen. But I know that it's just too much work, and I feel like everyone's lazy about that game for some reason, which is kind of mind-blowing. I feel like it doesn't really need it, but the other game that I would really love, like a complete polish of, because it looked good at the time, would be like Escape from Butcher Bay. But that's not my answer. But I would love to have like a good version of it that I can play. So I'm going to come out of left field, I think, here. A game that I don't think I can play currently on my Xbox. I loved when I was a kid, and maybe this is a little too much Jessica Rabbit influence or anything like that. I want to play Blood Rain.
Ooh.
I loved Blood Rain when it came out. I think I can play Blood Rain too. What'd you say? What?
Bonk.
Bonk?
Go to horny jail. Go to horny jail.
Oh, that's fine. What do you expect? I was like 12.
I mean,
I don't know how old I was.
See the video game.
It was basically Vampire Tomb Raider.
It was the game's really good.
It had a game. It had a movie from UA Bowl. That's all I remember.
Yeah. Christina
correction.
Loken, I think. Yeah.
Correction. Blood Rain 2 and Blood Rain Betrayal are both backwards compatible on Xbox Series X.
So, Blood Rain Betrayal is a side-scrolling thing that's like animated. Blood Rain 2 you can play, but not Blood Rain, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why, but like a vampire killing Nazis, like, yeah, like we should just have those games available, right? I don't know what the issue is, why the first one is not available. The second one's good, but it's a little too cheeky.
Got it.
Just give it time. The guys that make Wolfenstein will probably be making it, so they love killing Nazis. So
yeah, just give anything that involves Nazis to them. Give them Command and Conquer Red Alert.
Yeah. The game definitely did not age well. It's very blocky, and you can really jump anywhere. So I don't know. I feel like someone should spend the time and remake it.
I just bought the 2D side. I just got the 2D side-scrolling one. I want to play it. Looks cool.
It's fun. It is fun.
Oh my gosh, this game looks...
Nightmare Creatures. I want Nightmare Creatures to come back, too.
I don't know what's happening in this screenshot, but it looks like that her boob is just hanging out with no nipple. Like it's just like this sack of warm milk just hanging out of her.
Jesus Christ!
All
right,
her leather.
Next question. Corey doesn't get the answer. The remake question now.
I already answered. Well, I was the first one that went. Josh, thanks for paying attention to me.
You're not allowed to talk about it again.
I know you're snacking over there.
Listen,
I matter too.
Because I need to eat my dinner after this.
Our next question comes from Sam Hall. He says, "Hey, Xers, would you actually suggest the Series S over the Series X to anyone? If you would, why? I was thinking about grabbing one for Game Pass, but I've heard things about backwards compatibility that bother me." I mean, backwards compatibility on it kind of sucks if it's not optimized, because it pulls the Xbox Series S or the Xbox One S versions of games. I tried to play very recently Assassin's Creed Odyssey on the One S, and it's the Series S, and it's rough. It's not a great experience. It's a fine experience if you don't care about frame rates and graphics and stuff, but like, if it's not optimized,
if you're investing in one in the first year of a console, you care about that stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you care about backwards compatible stuff, I would go with the Series X solely based on the fact that it runs the better optimized versions of the games. And if you need extra storage, you're going to be paying that for a memory card anyway, or like the SSD one. So you might as well just get the X.
Sam, I would recommend it if you're a streamer right now, or if you're going to use it to stream.
Yeah, that's what this one is. That's about it. That's what I have it for, is streaming.
I recommend it as a streamer, since it puts out typically at 1440, and Twitch can't handle anything more than that, to my knowledge.
Either kind of capture card right now. That's if you're doing anything with frames.
Yeah.
It's a good little box. If you plan on playing like a lot of games that are coming out from now onwards, I think it's a great choice for the next couple years. Or if you just want to go all digital, I personally have both. Also, I have my X sitting here on my desk, and then the S lives in our bedroom as a media box. But also, my girlfriend only really plays Sea of Thieves and the occasional Destiny, so that's all we have. We have that and like fucking Tetris Effect installed, and that's about it.
I mean, that's about all you can fit on it at this point, too.
Yeah. No, for real. Like, we don't have much. We have Destiny, Sea of Thieves, Tetris, and like maybe Minecraft installed for her. But that's it's hers. It works great if you don't plan on playing a lot of games, or if those games aren't super taxing. Like for kids, I think it's perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially because like it could be your Fortnite and Minecraft box for kids.
Yeah,
and Roblox.
I mean, that's exactly what, when they revealed this, that's exactly what we were saying.
I have been playing Minecraft for 2 weeks because my 5-year-old got into it, so that's fun.
Well, my I was wondering, and I don't know, maybe you guys don't really know the answer to this. I didn't get a chance to really look into it anymore, but have they said when ray tracing in Minecraft was supposed to come to the Series X and stuff?
They've never officially announced it.
Yeah, it's.
I think it was just like a demo thing.
Yeah.
When I was
For me, if they were gonna do it, it would have been a no-brainer to have that there at launch.
Yeah.
But like, I do think it's still coming eventually. But if they're gonna show that, it's not gonna be at some digital showcase. It's gonna be on stage at E3 and be like, oh, by the way, this is the only platform besides PC you'll be able to do this on. Like, we'll give it the PS5 down the road.
Yeah. So. But yeah, I mean, I like the Series S, but I also have the benefit of having a Series X in the living room. So I use my Series S to stream stuff. So yeah, Assassin's Creed Odyssey looked rough though, guys. I was like, is this even the same game? So, all right, guys, our last question comes from Ashley Davidson. She says, simple question. Are you excited for Biomutant?
It's funny, I kind of mentioned that game earlier. Yes, I am very excited for that game. I've been excited for that game since we got the first look at it. Like, it just, like, the idea of almost, like, I guess I would compare it to, like, Bayonetta type kind of style game, where just kind of...
Is that what kind of game it is?
Yeah.
I thought it was like a open world RPG thing with like stylized combat.
It's very similar. Like the combat is very similar to like a like Bayonetta style game where you're like you can do combos and like with your sword, and you can fly up, jump up in the air and be slashing them with the sword and shooting. I think you've got like a grappling kind of thing that you can like grapple back into them, and some of the monsters are bigger and stuff, but it kind of feels more like those games though, where it's very fast paced action, like with comboing and kind of like just sword attacks and I think gun attacks and things like that as well. I think like you've got like stuff on your arms that are almost like kind of do all different things. I'm sure that you unlock over time, from what I understand. But I mean, yeah, it is similar to like I don't know, like a lot of those games like where it's kind of open world and you're kind of running around. But a lot of the stuff that I've seen recently, it just, for whatever reason, it just the action stuff just feels more like a Bayonetta type kind of game where it's very fast, and like you go into area and then you've got a bunch of characters that you can kind of like juggle with attacks and stuff like that. I don't know, that game just looks mind-blowing. And what's awesome is the reason they went quiet about it is because they didn't want to make any promises. Again, say like, oh, we're going to have this out now, because they wanted to let the developers kind of take their time doing it, because they didn't want to be doing crunch and stuff like that. And that's why they went dark about it for quite a few months, or almost a year now, or more than that.
I think it's been a couple of years, but
it's been a while.
They
just stopped talking about it because they didn't want to get into a situation where they feel like they've got to make their team crunch to get stuff done.
Yeah.
And so they just stopped talking about it and just let it be, silent for a while while they took their time getting it finished. So
I've made an allotment of what I'm excited for this year and what I'm not getting. I think like Mario 3D World comes out in what, 2 weeks at this point. Outriders is basically the only game I'm probably gonna get, and like with a new kid coming, I'm like, well, Halo's coming to Game Pass, and I'll get Destiny, and we'll see what else we'll see what else comes out on Switch, because I won't be playing on the TV anytime soon. So unless everybody's asleep. So that's about it. I don't Biomutant, like, it looks neat, but it's just I've tuned out of that game, to be honest with you. So
I will be real with y'all. Until Jesse mentioned this like a week or two ago, I didn't even know this was a thing. I didn't know this game existed. I'd never heard of it. And now it's like, cool. I'll wait for it to come out. It feels like one of those games and that's not a knock against it, that'll probably be half price, like towards the end of the summer. And I'll grab it when it's half or less, because even if I'm like starving for something to play at that point, I still feel like this just doesn't really like tickle my fancy right now. I want to see it in action, which I think is coming this week. This week or next week, I think, is when they're gonna do like a full-on gameplay demo of it, or like a live demo. I don't know.
Yeah, there is some gameplay stuff of it. I think that's a little bit newer, but they don't have. It's not like a full-on like. Yeah, I think.
Right, I think I remember them saying that when they reconfirmed it a couple weeks ago, saying that they're gonna do a demo of the new build of it, which I'm interested to see. Like, I've seen plenty of games before release that I'm like, this looks really bad. This looks really dumb. This just is not something I'm interested in. Then it comes out, my friends start picking it up, and they're like, hey, dude, this is actually really good. Like, all right, cool, I'll grab it. But it's scheduled to come out in May, which means you've got Resident Evil Village at the beginning of May. You've probably got Ratchet and Clank in May at this point. Returnal is at the end of April. We've got E3 coming with all the E3 news in June. At the end of May, I feel like there's something I'm not thinking of. Psychonauts is probably coming out in May, knowing my luck now.
Isn't Deathloop coming out in May?
Deathloop is coming out in May. Back 4 Blood is coming out in June. I've got anything I'm gonna play. Like, I would play literally any of those games I just listed, I think, before this. And it's not a knock on this game. It's just there's a lot of high quality shit scheduled for quarter 2, and that I've been following for a long time, and that's just what's going to take precedence. But hey, if it is cool, maybe it'll be like Maneater. I pick it up like 6 months later. It's $10, and I really enjoy it.
This really sounds like a game that I'll check out when it comes to Game Pass in 6 to 8 months.
Yup.
I'm just saying, like, this game probably should have came out in the a spring of like last year or 2 years ago, when people were still kind of amped for it. I totally forgot this game was coming out until like.
But again, they didn't want to have to crunch and like rush.
I mean, that's fair, but this game, we've known about this game for 3.5 years.
I believe it's a small team though too that's working on it, and it's a pretty ambitious looking game. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I honestly think, like, personally, I'd pick this over Ratchet and Clank, but I think it's gonna be up in like that kind of. For me, like,
I think the character creation stuff looks cool. I remember them showing that off at some point.
Just everything about that game that I've seen so far, it just looks amazing to me.
I was excited about Biomutant when I first heard about it. It seemed interesting. I clearly have moved on with my life. We've met other people. It's not that I don't love Biomutant anymore. It's just I don't feel the same way don't have the same kind of love. No,
he's got a new mom.
I got a new mom. I got another new mom.
Another one.
And
she doesn't smell like canning oil this time.
No, she smells like strawberries. She's actually kind of nice. She gave me my own boom. No,
yikes.
Oh God.
So but for me to be interested in Biomutant again, it would have to come at like the perfect time, or exactly when like at Christmas when they're having like their Black Friday sale or something, and it's $5.39 or some weird ass price with gold, and I'm like, oh, I remember that game. I'll download it, and then I won't play it again for another like 6 months. Like, that's probably the best shot I think I'll have at this game at this point. for all the reasons we've already mentioned. So I wish I was excited about it. I was at one point, but that has since subsided.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, all right, guys. Well, that's all the questions. And I think that's going to be the end of the show. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening to Arsenal X. Check out all of our content on bossrushgames.com. Check out our family of shows. We're excited to have you. And with that, Jesse, where can we find you?
You can find me almost everywhere as Phantom NXS.
Joe, where can we find you? So I'm on Twitter. You know I'm in the show notes, but I would urge everyone to go to facebook.com/AngryDadsStreaming. That's my new project with a group of friends. So go over there and see me yell at them or them yell at me. That's basically what happens.
Bit of both.
It's a good time.
Josh, where can we find you?
As always, Twitter and Twitch as @Josh_Finn with 2 N's. We're going to start playing the medium. We're going to take shots during the Balan Wonderworld demo to try and make it better.
Oh, God. I saw Todd's rant about it.
And that's what made me actually want to play the demo, frankly, was seeing how bad people were saying it was.
I saw...
Blessing Aote Jr. from Kinda Funny said that he goes, is this how people who don't play Sonic games feel about Sonic games? Every fucking button is jump. So... and then Danny O'Dwyer said that not even getting high saved the demo for him. So hearing those statements coupled with Todd's as me like oddly interested in this game, like that looks like nightmare fuel from the cover. So we're gonna pour some scotch and we're gonna have a good time playing that. And of course, every Thursday night you can find me and Corey on Tower Casuals talking about Destiny and lamenting certain things that get implemented into the game week after week.
Right.
Girl sandwich.
Rips.
Sandwich Casuals, baby. We ride again.
Rip swords. You can also find me on Tower Casuals, but you can also find me at I am CoreyNHD on Twitter, CoreyNHD on Twitch. You can find me with Josh on Tower Casuals every Thursday. A few other things are happening. You should follow me on Twitter to find out what those are. So,
secrets.
Their favorite are hand cannons too. They love hand cannons over there on Tower Casuals.
I mean, anyways, thank you everybody so much for watching. Check out Nintendo Power Block. Check out Crossroads next week on our Arsenal X hiatus, and we will see you when we see you. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.